right, hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me here on the Flipside for another episode of It Belongs in a Museum, to which your dutiful reply should be, so do you. Yes, absolutely. Have one more thing to do. Got to close this door over here so we reduce some of that background noise. Oh, yeah. All right, here we are. David Brownlee, howdy. Top chat, live chat. Yeah, got to do that as well. Thank you very much, my friend. Tom and David are here for your information. Yes, I know. We were about to get that. You stole my thunder, David Brownlee. You stole my thunder. So, if you are watching this and you have not yet gone over to Kickstarter to check out the new Game Toppers 4.5 Kickstarter, the Galactic Kickstarter. I think that's what they called it. Galactic. Let's see, Game Toppers. That's 4.0, 4.0, 4.5. Yeah, let's go with that. Galactic Game Tables. Yeah, that's what we called it. That's what they called it, rather. Wow, they already busted through. Yeah. All right, well, they had a $10,000 goal. They've already beat that. 17,186 with 23 days to go. So this is going to be running for a while. It already has 88 backers. That's very cool. I'm loving that. Loving that. All right. So let's look at what they have, because I want to show this to you. They are our sponsors, in part at least. They send us stuff. I normally, I'm working at his booth when I go to a convention. I'm fully behind Berkey as a person, as an individual, first and foremost. Secondarily, I'm fully behind his company, his products, and what he's doing. So, with all that being said, we have a very good relationship. I'll put it that way. His sponsorship of the channel has been in the form of products that he has given us to use as we make different things for the channel. I've made videos for him, that kind of stuff. He is not basically a paid sponsor. In other words, he doesn't just give me money. All right, there's much more of a relationship there than just they've paid me to do something. That's not it at all. So he does give products. So there is what you would consider, or what could be considered, some financial restitution there, but it's all in product. It's not in cash. So he's not just paying me to do stuff. This is stuff that I use on a daily basis. His products are stuff that I use on a daily basis, and every time we go to a game group, we take our game topper with us and we use it there. It's that kind of relationship. I just really believe in his product. All right, so there's that. Now, I do want to go ahead and look at screen capture. There we go. That's what we want. Screen capture, add. And so monitor, no window, yes. Google Chrome. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Boom. There we go. All right, so here we go. Check this out. We're going to go ahead and talk about this because it did just launch today. Game Toppers 4.5 Galactic Game Tables, terrain packs, and mats. All right, so they're known for high quality, affordable game tables and game mats, and we're now offering interchangeable artistic rails and terrain packs. That should say packs there. I'll have to let him know that that exists if somebody hasn't already. But anyway, this is actually a setup that we had at Origins, and I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, They're, just going through. There are also new leg kits and dining covers for the full table experience. This is pretty neato Frito. So the interchangeable rails, that's what we're talking about here. So we have these new galactic designed rails that are here, but they are also interchangeable. If you were part of the last Kickstarter where they bought, where they had those artistic, the fantasy railing system for their kits. Now they're interchangeable. So these ones that you already purchased will go in here, and you can purchase these new ones that will also be in there as well. So that's a pretty cool thing. And this new galactic rail designer is by this dude right here, Jay Shalansky. He's a good dude. Got to spend some time with him at Origins. So he was fun to hang out with and chew the fat with, and just have a good time. He's also the guy that is designing some of their terrain mats. So we have a new arid terrain mat by Jay. We also have snowy grasslands, and then this thematic game mat. So you have the galactic mat with the 36 by 36 Warzone Center by Jay Solansky. So you have that. Then you also have this new, oh wow, fantasy RPG mat by Brent Woodside. Brent Woodside is the guy who did the artwork for these rails up here in the last Kickstarter. So that's pretty cool. I have a lot of Brent Woodside's art hanging on our walls at home. That's how good I think Brent Woodside is. And his wife, Kayla, I also have some of her artwork. As a matter of fact, that was my anniversary present to Jess this year, was one of Kayla's Han Solo and Princess Leia. I'll take a picture. Maybe you can see it on Facebook. She's posted it on Facebook. But anyway, that's Kayla. That's Brent Woodside's wife. So cool. Galactic deck builder, Matt. All right, cool. That's a new product. So you can see how that works with all these different deck building card games that are out there. Neato Frito. And then there are also these new terrain packs. So you have 4 new terrain styles, 2 road kits, and a river system. That's pretty cool. I know it belongs in a museum. I apologize. I was planning on doing this, and David stole some of my thunder, so I got to steal some of it back. But you have all of these different terrain packs that are in here as well. And they're 2-dimensional, made out of neoprene, same kind of neoprene that the playmats are made out of. And then there's also 7 brand new 3x3 mats, never offered before. This is just a really neat thing. So this is a great jumping in point. If you've never jumped into the Game Toppers pool, this is a fine time to jump into the pool because it's just that good. You have great looking packages. You have the Scotland Yard package. You have the Baker Street package, and really all of those are the different sizes of the tables that they offer. And so dining cover and leg kit bundles. Those are pretty good. Oh, who's that dude? Oh, cool. That's pretty neat. Look at that. Yep, that's something I definitely said. I told him to put that in there. Stretch goals, sweet. So if you haven't taken a look at that yet, on your own time, please do so, because it is well worth the time that you will spend. Even if you don't back it, it's stuff that it's good information to have. You know that it's available. A lot of people think that when you see tables and game tables and all that kind of stuff, and it's one of those things where it's just really, really expensive. These are, comparatively speaking, super cheap compared to other game tables that are out there. So just wanted to put that out there. Now, back to the task at hand. We are talking about it belongs in a museum. All right, let's see here. Typical. Hi, Eric. Hey, Tom. We've had one for years. Tom says, we love it. One day I shall procure yon gaming surface, Ryan says. It's nice to see them offering more terrain mats rather than art mats, which look nice but are a little distracting when playing. I certainly understand that, David. And I do agree that I think it's great that they have more terrain out there. They're actually trying to kind of not necessarily break into, but definitely sidle into the tabletop wargaming field that exists within this hobby. And so that's one of the reasons why they're offering more terrain mats now and not just artistic ones. I do, however, just as kind of an adjacent thing to it, I do, however, like how their mats, most of the mat is pretty nondescript, and then you have the really highly detailed things around the outside of the mat. I do like that, and it's kind of a compromise between what a lot of people are looking for in that a very nondescript, maybe even somewhat thematic background, to something that just simply looks really good on a table, whether you're playing it or not. But I do hear that a lot, especially working in the booth. A lot of people say, love it, looks really great, but I'm wondering if it's going to be a little too distracting. And some people that have had there for years, yeah, we've had that one, but we've settled on the more nondescript ones because they're just not as distracting. So totally get it, totally get it. All right, so let's go ahead and head on into it. You know what we do here, normally speaking. We are going to talk about a couple of games, and to make it a little bit more interesting, I give you some clues, and whomever is the one that answers correctly what the game is that we're going to be talking about, they get to have sent to them a couple of stickers and a surprise, free stuff. And if the person who correctly guesses has already received one of those special surprise packages of a couple of stickers and a surprise, then they get to choose somebody who is currently in chat that doesn't have one yet. So there is that. We do have 11 people here. I don't think that I've had 11 winners yet, so we should have somebody here that hasn't won. But you can only win if you either answer in chat or you are active in chat. So if you are here, at least say, hello, I'm here. So that if you don't win, maybe somebody that does win, that has already won, will be able to pick you, that kind of thing. So do sound off if you are here and want to participate for the possibility of getting a free prize. Oh, free! I'm going to be trying to contact Nuno Rebello later on, but if anybody has Nuno Rebello's contact information, could you send him an email or something like that? Maybe you're a friend of his or whatever and you have his phone number. Contact him and let him know that his prize, his surprise package that he got on one of these just got returned today. I was mailing out a t-shirt that somebody had ordered this morning, and they said, hey, this got returned. So I'm going to need his, I'm going to need to contact him again to try to get a better address. I think it was that it could not be delivered. It said no reclamado. No reclamado or reclamado. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Portuguese, so I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it just means that it was not able to be delivered, and I don't know why. It looks like everything was the same and perfect as far as what he gave us. But anyway, if you have that, or Nuno, if you're watching, contact me if I haven't contacted you yet. All right, here, Game Face people. Ryan is here. Derek is here. I'm here. M. Winterfell is here. Good to see you. All right, all right, all right. Matthew Vincent is here. Hola. Very good, very good. All right, so a couple of clues as to our first one. This one is exactly 10 years old. Exactly 10 years old. And let's see here. It is a party game. That's the category. And the mechanism that I'll share with you is memory. Memory, role-playing. Those are the two mechanisms. The category is a party game. Memory, role-playing, and it is 10 years old, exactly 10 years old. So go ahead and have at your guesses, everyone, and we'll see what happens. Deception, murder in Hong Kong. No, sir. That is not correct. My illegitimate child. Oh, my goodness. Derek S. What? Knocking it out of the park. He called it that quickly. My goodness, Derek S. Goodness gracious. Didn't even try. Second guess out of all of them. Joe, Koo. No, Joe, that's not correct. Spyfall is correct. Derek S., you are the winner. I don't think I've sent anything to you either, so I think that might be the one. There can be only one for each giveaway. But Derek S. nailed it. Well done. All right, so that is something, Tom, thank you for mentioning that. That's something that I am going to mention here. This particular copy of the game is 10 years old. It came out in 2014, but it has gone through some changes and upgrades and different versions, different kind of thematic contexts and all of that kind of stuff. We actually also own DC Spyfall, which came out in 2018. They also had a Spyfall 2 that came out in 2016. So there's that. Hello, I am here with British accent, he says. Nope, yay! All right, Derek. Derek, you need to send me a... let me just go ahead and put these here. You need to send me an email at Flipside OBG OBG at gmail.com. There you go. I also noticed it on your shelf yesterday when you did your live video with JT. Can you see that it's not there today? No. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. That's something that I always kind of worry about. I usually try to pick games that aren't directly behind me all the time, because if there's a gaping hole, wonder what game we're talking about today. You know, that kind of thing. So this is one that we also kind of add. You can, not sure you can mix those two games. I know you can mix 1 and 2. I don't think you can mix this and this, because this one is pretty much a thematic context that I think needs to be there, and there's also some differences in this game that are not in the original. But I know you can. No TI4 then. That is correct. No TI4. That is correct. So Spyfall is a pretty cool social deduction game where you basically have one person, possibly two, that are at the table that are spies. And the rest of the people are generally at the same location. And on top of that, if you want to play this way, which I recommend, you each have different roles at that location. So if you're in a restaurant, you'll have one that is one person that's the maitre d', the other person is a waiter or a waitress, the other person is a cook, the other person is just another person in the restaurant. You know, it's those kinds of roles that you have. And so what you're trying to do is, over the course of 8 minutes, that's how long each round takes. Actually, that's how long each game takes, but you can play it as long as you want. Over the course of those Dadgummit. Ba-bum-bum. Let's go to voicemail. I'll call him back. What we have here is, I just lost my train of thought because, okay, he's leaving a message. All right, good. Let's get down to the table. Sorry, I've just got, got so much going on. It's crazy. All right, the issue is if you're the spy and you get the first question, you're screwed. All right, Blake. Thanks for jumping right into the deep negative in there, pal. That's part of the fun of the game. All right, so anyway, here's the game, all right, and here's the rule book. We usually show you the rule book and all that kind of stuff, so it's all good. But this is integral to the game. I know it probably doesn't look like it, but this is integral. The reason it is because it gives you a look at what each of the different locations in the game look like. So that's important because if you are the spy, you have this available to you so that you can see what everything else is there. And this is usually left out in the middle of the table so that if you are not the spy, or if you are not the if you are not one of the people that are not the spy, you have this available to you. There are certain nuances in the game that if you are or are not the spy, you should be taking this when you're asking the question, when you're answering the question, and so forth, so that there's some way to, I guess you could say, kind of mitigate what Blake is talking about. I'm not saying that Blake is wrong. It is definitely correct, but I do want to show that to you. So what is in each of these little packs here? Well, you have a spy card, and then you have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have a spy card, and then you have 7 location cards. And so, for example, this location is the passenger train. And so one person will be the conductor. Another person will be a passenger car attendant. Another person will be a vendor. Another person will be a dining car cook. Another person will be a stoker. Another person will be a ticket taker. So those are the different roles that are going to be in that location, and then you're going to have one person that gets this card right here, and they are simply the spy. So they won't be able to know where they are based on their card, but everybody else will. And so now what has to happen here is that one person is designated as the beginner, the person who starts asking questions. And so somebody's going to ask questions about, one person will say, what kind of a day is it outside as we're looking out the window, or something to that effect. And the person answering the question will have to, if they are the spy, they are just going to have to try to guess. And offer a rather nebulous answer, but not so nebulous that people think that you are the spy. You have to give some kind of credence that you are actually one of the people at the location that everybody else is at. So the questions and answers have to be specific enough so that people who know where we are will recognize the fact that you know where we are, or will recognize the fact that you have no idea where we are. That's kind of the rub. And with that in mind, yes, Blake is very correct. If you are the first person chosen, so here you have a nightclub. I'll just go ahead and turn it around so that you can see what these look like basically without anything else. You have a movie studio, you have a day spa, you have a beach. Is that going to be on screen? No, let's put it over there. You have a, oh, I got 2 cards in that one. You have a corporate party, whatever those are. So you get the idea of what this basically is here. You have an airplane. You have let's see. You have a you are in a crusader army. Okay. You are in a theater. So that's another one. So you get the idea. All of these different locations that you can be at. And it's just one of those things where it's really fun to just kind of try and bluff your way out of what, the situation that you're in, and that you want to answer questions as specifically as possible, whether you're the spy or not. Because if you aren't the spy, you don't want to answer too specifically, because the spy will then be able to figure out where you are by looking at this thing right here. So it's a pretty fun game as far as all that is concerned, because it can be quite what's the word? Ah, crud. It can be quite it can have a lot of satisfaction. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. I've got so much going through my head right now. I apologize. But it can be very satisfying. That's the word I was looking for. It can be very satisfying because as the spy, it can be very satisfying to figure out who you are by listening to what everybody's saying and all of that kind of stuff. But it can also be very satisfying to figure out who the spy is based on the information that they're giving. And it's also fun because you're also going to have those people that think they're giving very clever answers, but the answers are super nebulous, and it makes them just look more suspicious. So that's part of it as well. Let's see here. Ziploc bags for each set work well. Yes, that's true. But I have I've gone with the rubber bands. I have a whole bunch of them. I know I broke one, but I'll fix that later. And the answers have to be vague enough so the spy doesn't learn where you are. Exactly. Rubber bands are the best way to keep cards together. You have to be super vague. But, well, here's the thing. You don't have to be super vague. You just have to be vague enough so that the person who isn't the spy can't catch on to where you are by your answer. But you have to be specific enough in your vagueness that everybody who is at the same location, who knows what the location is, knows that you know where we are. Because otherwise, they're going to start suspecting that you don't know where you are. And so it's pretty fun. When was the last time you played? I haven't played this game in a long time. But that is not to say that I haven't wanted to play it. For example, Jess is not a huge social deduction game. She could not lie herself out of a paper bag, generally speaking. And so she doesn't really enjoy those kinds of games. For example, Sheriff of Nottingham, she would probably not enjoy that as much if you had to lie. But since you don't have to lie, she usually plays that game very straightforwardly. And so it's just one of those things. But yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's really fun. The game does fall flat sometimes, and I have difficulty getting this game to the table. But personally, I really like it. I haven't played it for a really long time. My experience has been very similar. It does fall flat sometimes because people just don't grasp what they're trying to do, and part of that rests upon how you teach the game. And so I've tried different ways to teach the game, I've also tried to tell people you don't have to act like the person whose name is at the bottom of the card. Your role, you don't have to use the role, but I found that sometimes that makes it more difficult to know what questions to ask and how to answer. I think if you give somebody the role that they are part of, that they can put themselves in that mindset a little bit easier so that they know how they should answer the question. So I use bags, but Forest Shuffle has a lot of cards, so I got Velcro. Ooh, Velcro. Daiso is a good source for Ziploc bags. David says you might try other dollar stores if you don't have a Daiso near you. Not everyone can stick their hand in a bag, and also getting the cards in and out of bags is hard. Rubber bands are fine. Just don't put it on too tight. It's okay, Sam. We have your back. Breathe. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you. Let's see. Also, sometimes you can give an answer that works for multiple locations. That is also correct. Very cool. I'd love to play this with you, Sam. LOL, I haven't played this in a long time. Neither have I. Good game for Dice Tower Retreat. That is true. That is good. Spyfall was a flash in the pan for me. The more I played it, the less I liked it. That's interesting. Matthew Rose, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, just stopping by. Just stop by. He's got to get to work. See you on the tonight stream. All right, we'll see you there, bud. All right, very cool. All right, so Derek, make sure that you send me your address information. Oh, one thing more. What this changes, and what this gives everybody. See, look, David will be happy with me. Look, David. See? So nice, so nice, so nice, yes? So nice. All right, so here's the thing. All right, so in DC Spyfall, I'm just showing this to you so that you can see the differences in it. You have, somebody is the Joker instead of the spy. All right, and the Joker has to figure out where they are, and so forth and so on. But the thing that this adds to is that people are able to get an ability that can be ongoing like this one. For example, this one says, you must accuse a player of being the Joker immediately after the fourth question is answered, but you don't reveal this card. So if somebody has this ability, they have to wait 4 questions in, and then they have to accuse the Joker immediately. The way the game works, and I didn't explain this earlier, is that the people who are at the location have 8 minutes to find out who the spy is by asking questions back and forth. So the faster you ask questions, the quicker the answers are given, the more information you can get out there. And so generally, this one right here will make accusations go a little bit faster. But you know, if you don't accuse the right person, then that's bad. God Complex is a one-shot. If you vote to convict a player of being the Joker during a clock stoppage and are in the majority, it's now considered unanimous. Then discard this card. So it's a God Complex. So these ability cards can be given to people, which further kind of throws the game on its head and makes it a little bit more fun. So if, well, maybe not fun. It makes it a little bit more chaotic, maybe not fun. It depends on who you are. So if you found that Spyfall has fallen for you, then I would try getting this guy so that maybe it'll spruce it up a little bit for you. But anyway, that's what that is. Why would you lie your way out of a paper bag? Well, you wouldn't. It's just a saying, Eric. And I know you've heard that saying before because you're old. And I wouldn't be surprised if you started that saying. Bada boom, bada boom. Let's see here. Not played the expansion. That wasn't really an expansion. That was a new standalone. But I guess it's a new version, I guess. I always tell people if you're bad at lying, then you have to lean into that. That way we won't know if you're lying. You're laughing because you suck at lying, or laughing because you're doing well at lying and you're succeeding. Too weak to punch your way out. Yeah, pretty much. I own both Spyfall 1 and 2. Brett says, recently got rid of a copy because I did not see the need to own both. Well, I think with, I don't know about Spyfall 1 and 2, but I know that, I think they came out with different locations. I don't know, maybe they didn't. But it would just give you the opportunity to have more locations to use, I guess. I want to play this game with you, Blake. Seems like you have a good handle on it. That would make the game easier for those that are the Joker. Yeah, well, that's true. I don't really like this game, Derek. I've played and it's fine. I'm just thinking of strategies for games even if I don't like them. This game could actually probably be played online with everyone having a location since it's just asking questions. Yep. I think there has to be a little bit of... I think playing it in person or with... You know, if you're online, you have to have like a Zoom call type thing set up. Seeing people's faces and all that kind of thing is, I think, part of the game. It's integral to that social deduction side. All right, second game here. Second game. This one is 13 years old. 13 years old. 1-3. And it is a card game. And we'll just say this, it's a trick-taking card game. All right, it's a trick-taking card game. 13 years old. Let's see if anybody can come up with that one. 13 years old, trick-taking card game. Let's see here. Deception, Murder, and Hong Kong is also from the same year. Which do you like better? I definitely like Deception, Murder, and Hong Kong much better than Spyfall. That is not to say that I dislike Spyfall. I just like Deception, Murder, and Hong Kong much better because you have teams in that one rather than in Spyfall. It's one versus all. And so I tend to like the teams in social deduction games rather than one versus all. Because when you're the only person that isn't in the know, that can be overwhelming for people. That sense of being alone is too much. I have noticed that. So with Deception, Murder, in Hong Kong, you know, even if you are the murderer, you have the accomplice, and they are your teammate, and then all of the other, you know, people are on a team trying to figure out who the murderer and the accomplice is. With the expansion for Deception, Murder, in Hong Kong, the person giving the clues can actually become can become a teammate of the murderer and the accomplice. It's a twist. It's a serious twist, but I like those kinds of things much better than Spyfall, but I do enjoy Spyfall. Let's see, what game is this? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. The game, Diamonds, no. Lost Cities, Ryan! Ryan said it first. Man, Brett, you were so close, dude. Brian said it first. The Dwarf King. Ryan said it first, so that was super close. I think, Ryan, you have already been a winner, so you need to pick someone in the chat to send me an email. And, oh, Spyfall is a 1 out of 10. Well, JT, you're also wrong. 9 out of 10 times. Let's see here. All right, so whomever Ryan picks at gmail.com, you need to send me an email at flipsideobg@gmail.com. And Ryan has chosen Brett because he was so close to being first. All right, Dwarf King is correct. Dwarf King, Dwarf King. This is by Bruno Feduti. And if you don't know who Bruno Feduti is, you might know who Bruno Cathala is. And Bruno Cathala and Bruno Feduti are both gentlemen who have worked together on a number of different things. They have worked on, let's see here. They've worked on Raptor together, so that's one. And I always draw a blank. I don't know why I turn around and look at these games, because just dumb. Anyway, Sam, be nice. He would never do that. Be nice, Sam. I am nice. I am nice. Lost Cities isn't really trick-taking. Yeah, that's true. Spyfall is a 1 out of 10. Yeah, it's just because JT's not good at it. Ryan, you the man. Sam, be nice. He would never do that. We don't talk about Bruno, Sam. Yes, we do. We talk about Bruno. We like you, JT. We do like you, JT. But you're still wrong. All right, so as we get down to the table here, we are going to be looking at the Dwarf King. And this is a pretty cool trick taker that kind of basically moves the goalposts every single round. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. It's one of the things that I enjoy about it. But the rule book is pretty straightforward and simple. Not a whole lot of rules that are going on in this game. You generally have, let's see, how many different suits? I think you have 4 different suits. No, 3 suits: Knight, Dwarf, and Goblin. And so you have these things here, which are, these are the governing rules for each round. So the person who won the last trick basically gets to choose one of these 2 things for that round. So if this were the case, then it's called even and win. What? Yeah, that's a W. So even and win. So you score +5 points if you took an even number of tricks. Otherwise, you get 0. Or rather, I'm sorry, other than 0. So if you got 0, which is, I guess, considered an even number, you would not score 5 points. But if you score 2, 4, 6, if you win those that minute tracks, you get an extra 5 points based, in addition to whatever you got from the cards that you scored. So uneven and win, score 5 points if you took an odd number of tricks and you win. So it's stuff like that. And then you also have things like Knight victories over Dwarves. So score 1 point for each Knight that you took, and score -1 point for each Dwarf that you took during the course of the game, during the course of the round. Or Dwarves over victory, it's the Dwarves over Knights victory. So it's the opposite. So you have all of these things that are different little nuances that each round will have as you win, as you go through and play the game. So during the round, and again, it's been a long time since I taught it, so let me refresh myself here. The goal of the game is to take tricks or avoid taking tricks. So it's one or the others based on what you have going on right here. And the rules change each round, so adapt your play for the rules for every round. The player with the highest total score after 7 rounds wins. At the start of a round, the player who has the 5 of goblins, so you're basically going to take these cards. And this is another thing that I like about the game, the magnetic closure. So there you have that. But you have these cards that are out here that represent all of the different cards that you're going to have in the game. So these are the goblins, that's the knights, that's the dwarves faction. So those are the 3 symbols that you're really looking at, and the 3 different colors. Then you have a knight champion, which is the ace, a knight queen, a knight jack, and then you also have the knight king, which is at the very almost bottom of the deck. And then you also have a special character in each deck that does something special at the bottom of the thing. So if you have this card in your hand after the deal, you choose one of the 2 scoring rules of the quest tiles. So whoever has the 5 of each one is the person who gets to choose. It's not the person who won the trick. See, I'm rusty. So you get to choose the top or the bottom, depending on who has the 5 of each one. This one says, if you have this card in hand after the deal, you choose, you lead the first trick. So the 5 goblin is the one who leads the first trick. The 5 knight is the one who gets to choose which top or bottom of the quest tile. And then the 5 dwarf, if you took this card, you are the dealer next round. So that's what each of these 5 different guys, what these guys do. This guy, you become the dealer next round. This guy, you lead if you have this guy, and then this person gets to choose what the special rule for the round is. And after that, you're basically going to be scoring points based on this rule, whatever it turns out to be. But as you're playing through the round, you have to follow suit if you can. If you can't follow suit, you can play any card. There is no trump. After each player has played a card, whoever played the highest card in suit takes the trick. The player collects all the tricks and then chooses another card to lead the next one. All right, so you also have these special cards that are also in the game. And the number of cards that go in here, I'm trying to remember how many of these cards go in there. Dadgummit. There's only a certain number that goes in. Where does it say it? I'm dumb. Special card deck. Dealing the cards. Draws the top card of the special deck, explains its effect, and shuffles it in with. Okay, so since you play 7 rounds, there's 14 of these cards, so you're only going to use 7 of them. You are going to shuffle 1 into the deck at the beginning of every round, so it just depends on what they come up with. So the doppelganger here says this is a copy of a card played just before it, but it ranks just higher than that card. For example, a doppelganger played after an 8 dwarves is a dwarf of a value higher than 8 but lower than 9. So a 9 will still beat it, but it beats the 8 that was played before it. If played as the first card in a trick, it copies the last card of the previous trick. So there you have that. Then you have special cards like enchanters, which this would be a knight card. You have a ninja, which is a goblin card, a jester, which is a knight card, and a dwarf, which is a dwarf engineer, which is an 11. Everything else goes up to 10. But you also have the king, queen, jack, and ace that are higher than those. So you have ace is the highest, king, queen, jack. 11 are only special cards, and then the rest of the cards go 10 all the way down to 1. So you have a whole bunch of different cards that can go in here. If you took this card, you score -3 points. So you want to try to stay away from winning the shaman. The druid, if you played this card, swap your hand with another player of your choice after this trick. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with the special cards here. But one of these is dealt in every round, so you're only going to use 7 out of the 14. It's a really fun trick-taking game that changes its rules every round, and it's kind of keeps you on your toes because of that. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if JT has played this one. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. Yes, that is the greatest line from that movie ever. I love that. So I'm just going to put these back in here kind of haphazardly. Let's see, does Jessie like trick-taking games? I don't think she doesn't enjoy them, but I don't think they're... she's played a number of them at this point, but I think trick-taking isn't one of those mechanisms that are widely known, or as common rather, as some people think it is, because you know, either you grew up playing rook, hearts, spades, or you didn't. And I'm beginning to feel like most people didn't, generally speaking. So there you have it. Bruno Fiduti also did Masquerades, Citadels, and Mission Red Planet. Yes, that is correct. Well done, David. Thank you. The thing with these games is stuff is just random. I like, why 7 rounds? Because that's the number they picked. It doesn't matter. Well, that's maybe true, but I think more often than not, there is a reason behind it. We just don't know exactly what that reason is, so we think that it's a random choice. Maybe it has something to do with the effect that during playtest, most people said, you know, I think I'm done now after about 7 rounds. Maybe it had to do with the number of special cards they were going to put into the game. And they didn't want to use all of them every game, so they said, let's just use half of them every game. It could be anything like that. But you're correct. You could continue playing for as many rounds as you want. Just granted, after 14 rounds, you're going to run out of special cards. So there you go. Do you like trick-taking games in general or only certain ones? In general, yes, I do like trick-taking games. They are one of those kinds of mechanisms for me that is familiar. And the reason I say that is because when somebody says it's a trick-taking game, I already kind of understand how to play. You can, you know, for somebody that's played trick-taking games, you can teach them how to play a new trick-taking game with one sentence. It's a trick-taking game. Oh, okay, I know what I'm basically doing. Now what are the nuances of the game? And then it takes, usually it just takes a few minutes, if not seconds, to teach the nuances of a new trick-taking game. So I really like trick-taking games for that specific purpose. Now, it becomes a little bit more muddy when you have someone that is not experienced with trick-taking games. Then you have to explain, well, why do I want to win this trick and why does he not want to win it? You know, you have to explain those kinds of things. So that's where it gets a little bit muddy, but myself specifically, I usually tend to enjoy trick takers, not as much as JT does though. JT loves trick taking games. And he can be a little bit, how can I say this nicely, snobbish when it comes to trick taking games. I'm just kidding, he doesn't, but he does have a more of a refined taste for trick taking games rather than just any of them. A better question is, why is JT quoting Hobbits when this is a dwarf game? I think JT is the spy. That is absolutely correct. You can just kind of assume that JT is the ringer in whatever context. Haven't played this one before, but I'm drowning in trick takers at the moment. There you go. Scat is also a trick-taking game. My parents played bridge. I learned that game at an early age. Rummy was my big game, Karen says. I love trick-taking too. Yep. Rounds also deals with card variance. Usually high variance in your hand means more rounds to try to mitigate that variance. Cool. That's lending support. Thank you, Joker. Yes. Lending support to the idea that just because we don't know the reasonings for number of rounds doesn't mean that there wasn't a reason. Let's see. Hey, Sam, did you grow up playing 42 domino trick-taking game? Nope, I did not, Jeffrey. Sorry. You've maybe already covered this, but are you headed to Gen Con this year? Yes, Brett, I am. I'll be working the Ops booth. I'll be demoing the art project for the Op. I'll be there with Love Thy Nerd, and I'll be contracted out to the Op through Love Thy Nerd to demo that game for them. Maybe others as well, but that's the one that I'm definitely going to be doing. Let's see here. Scat. Let's see. Game Toppers Board Game Theater Love Trick-taking Game. Hey, what's up? What's up? Hopefully that's Berkey. I remember playing Tournament Over Camelot with you a few years back. Yep, I still have Tournament Over Camelot right over there. And congrats, my friend, on your funding already. I know you're not to where you probably want to be, but 88 backers already when we checked earlier in this stream, and you already have over 17 grand, so very good, very good. JT, we need to play some trick-taking games on the cruise. JT snobbish, LOL. Yep, that's correct. He's not really snobbish, but you know, he has refined tastes. Hello, good sir. Hello, Luke. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, buddy. I think Claim might be the only trick-taking game we have. Huh, I've never even heard of that game. I usually only play at 3, so nice and quick. It's on BGA 2, so I always have a game or 3 of it going on there. He's a rookie player. Derek S., just wondering if you had some favorite suggestions for videos that contestants sent you from the charcuterie contest. No, I do not. I'm keeping that under wraps for right now. But there are, you know, any ones that had to do with community and more of a community vibe. Those are the kinds of things that we are really looking forward to trying. But I will have to be, and I'm just trying to be transparent here. This is, let's see. This is where I guess we're going into the 4th week since that contest ended. And 3 of those 4 weeks have been traveling. So I have not been able to put a lot of time into those responses. That is not to say I'm not going to do it, though. I just haven't been able to yet. And I'm trying to stay ahead of the ball on the Agda giveaway as well. So that has been a lot of bookkeeping, I guess you could call it. I actually had to break out a spreadsheet for it so that I could keep track of all of the games that have been sent in. I have a lot of ties right now because I am compiling all of the information, and we're going to make a top 10 video after the contest has completed. So everybody only has about 8 more days left for that to come into, 8 more days. So today and then tomorrow marks the beginning of the last week for that contest. Play-alongs. Yeah, play-alongs. Yeah. Play charcuterie with real charcuterie. I don't know that we would make it to the end because we would want to eat the food. But no, I wouldn't want to eat the food because a different person is pulling it out of a bag every... That's not good. Claim is a good one too. Hard to do 2-player trick-taking, and Claim is at least engaging between all the faction combinations. That's very good. All right. Community play of TI4? Oh, what are you trying to do, a 24-hour marathon live? We have only one more city game on the shelf of shame. We will get our list to you soon. Awesome. Let's see here. Eric, play along. Is that like a sing-along? No. Let's see here. 24-hour play along of Twilight Imperium. Oh my. That gives me a headache just thinking about it. Successful Geek, I'm late. Had to see the new stuff on from ONEB. What is ONEB? Or 1B? I don't know what that is. Okay, well, that is about that. We're going to get on out of here. So, unfortunately, Successful Geek, yeah, we're pretty much done here, buddy. Gotta make sure all these are in the same. They are good. So those go right back in there. These go right back in here. And then this gets folded up. And that goes over there like that. We are done. Oh, Orange Nebula. Ah, okay. Yeah, Orange Nebula is something else. They are super duper on our radar. That is mine and JT's radar. We've really enjoyed a lot of their games. I will watch from the beginning. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Matthew Benson says hello. Well, that was quick. It's about an hour. That's what we usually try to do. We don't want to go too far. I do have some editing that I need to do today before the 5:30 stream this afternoon. Hi, Sam. I am thinking of buying Memoir 44. Is it good in 2024? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, Hatcham. Buy Memoir 44. It still retains its goodness, even though it is, good night, almost 20 years old, I think. Yeah, this is the 20-year anniversary, absolutely. So yes, even though it's 20 years old, it still is good. Are you playing Carcassonne base game? Yes, we are. We are playing Carcassonne base game. But Hatcham, absolutely yes. I still play Memoir 44 on a regular basis. I'll put it that way, even though it is an older game, a very old game, 20 years old at this point. So Memoir 44, what happened to 1 to 43? Blake, you know. It's dated, like Sam. Not correct. Sorry, working, so trying to keep up. No worries, JT. I know you're working, buddy. Yes, get more Memoir 44, Tom says. And Tom I just taught Tom how to play it at Dice Tower East, and he enjoyed it. Nobody remembers 1 to 43. That's not true. Memoir 44 is 1944, dude. All right, that's why there's a little asterisk, not an asterisk, but a little apostrophe before the 4 on Memoir 44. It's supposed to be 1944. Slow but steady, hair turner. I will continue to make that joke, Sam. I know you will. You will. I just learned the Memoir 44. It is not for me, but glad I finally played it. Very cool. Karen, I'm only slightly snobby. Memoir 15 to 18 would be interesting. They have that. It's called The Great War. They absolutely have it, Joker, yes. It's called The Great War. It is right there. This is Memoir 15 to 18, right there. There you go. There you have it. So, if you remember 1901 to 1943, you're older than me. Eric does. And with that, we're done. Derek, yes, Rook long ago, and Pinnacle, too. Yep, Pinnacle. Yep. It's an evergreen. It is absolutely an evergreen. All right. We'll see you guys later on. Come back at 5:30 Pacific time for a Time Honor Tuesdays playthrough of Carcassonne with me and Jess. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.